Hello and welcome to the program, Cardano News Now, where we talk about all things Cardano. If you like Cardano, you've come to the right place. But remember, not investment advice. Now, today's topic is about Operation Choke Point. There's been some stuff coming out about this. Specifically, it's called Operation Choke Point 2.0. Charles Hoskinson has been addressing this and talking about what the threat this could be to the cryptocurrency community. So I wanted to know a little bit more about Operation Choke Point. I thought I'd go to that bastion of knowledge, Grok, over at X, formerly known as Twitter, and see what they had to say about it. Well, we're told from there that Operation Chokepoint 2.0 refers to an informal term used by critics to describe what they perceive as a coordinated effort by U.S. regulators to limit or restrict the operation of cryptocurrency businesses by pressuring banks to cut off banking services to these firms. This operation is not an official government initiative, but rather an observed pattern of regularity actions against the crypto sector. Well, if you've been paying attention the last few years, you know that this is not a conspiracy theory. This is something that's actually been going on. So for the background of it, we're told that the original Operation Choke Point was initiated in 2013 by the Obama administration. It targeted industries like payday lenders and firearms dealers by pressuring banks to terminate their business relationships with these sectors. Oh, wait a minute. Did somebody forget the Second Amendment here where it says make no law? Anyway, citing high risk for fraud and money laundering. While this operation officially ended in 2017, similar tactics are believed to be used against the cryptocurrency industry. Washington warned us that the government is like a fire. I mean, it can just consume everything, and you see what's been happening with crypto the last several years. Hopefully we'll get some relief from that. Goes on down, it says access to financial services. Crypto companies might find it difficult to secure banking services, which could limit their ability to conduct transactions, manage payroll, or handle customer funds efficiently. This could restrict the growth and operational capabilities of these businesses. Well, if you know anything about crypto, you know that the real choke point is getting your U.S. currency or whatever currency onto the system and converting that into crypto. Once you've got it converted to crypto, well, it's pretty much Wild West for a lot of places. It goes on here. It says market dynamics. If crypto firms are pushed offshore due to these pressures, this might lead to a less regulated environment, potentially increasing risk for investors in terms of security, fraud, and money laundering, is hinted by some commentators. Well, also, I'll tell you what it does. It takes the jobs out of the U.S., and that's what Trump's been talking about, bringing these jobs back to the U.S. and letting the United States be the leader in cryptocurrency. It lists innovation stifling. The pressure could deter new startups or innovations in the crypto space within the U.S., as a lack of access to financial services can be a significant barrier to entry for new businesses. It also increases cost and compliance. Businesses might face higher costs due to the need for compliance with stricter regulations or because they have to seek more expensive banking solutions outside the conventional financial system. This could indirectly affect cryptocurrency holders through higher fees or services charged passed on by these companies. Well, we know that cryptocurrency is light years ahead of banks as far as transferring funds, transferring wealth, securing wealth, doing a lot of financial things. Look, you can move your Cardano in under a minute on most days. Large sums of money. And if you try to do the same thing with cash, it might be a week before your account's credited. It's just crazy. Cardano is so much better. Cryptocurrency in general is better, but Cardano is so much better, my opinion. And that's the experience that I've had from using it over the years. Political and legal actions, it says there has been discussion and some action in Congress regarding these practices, with lawmakers like U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty expressing concerns over the Biden administration's approach toward the crypto economy, suggesting potential legislative pushback or reforms in the future. Thank goodness we've got somebody in there that's a little more crypto happy now. It will be on January 20th or whatever inauguration day is. And Trump has already said there's going to be a big change. It looks like Gary Gensler is going to be taking a high-paying job somewhere other than the government, and lots of good news, I think, in the near future. It says the term Operation Choke Point 2.0 encapsulates the sentiment among some of the crypto community that the regulatory environment is becoming hostile, potentially impacting how cryptocurrency holders interact with traditional financial systems, invest in, or use cryptocurrencies. However, this operation remains an informal label for regulatory actions rather than an officially named campaign. Well, that's the whole problem. They're operating under the color of law. We know with the latest decision by the Supreme Court, the Chevron decision, I believe it is, they're taking away a lot of authority of these departments just to just to go ahead and randomly make up laws on their own. That could be a great thing, I think. So getting back to Charles Hoskinson's comments on this article here is from bncrypto.com, bncrypto.com. It says Cardano's Hoskinson calls for crypto unity against Operation Chokepoint 2.0. And then it says Charles, it's written by Ola Wimpalumi, Adejumo, and Daria Krasnova. Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano, has called for unity within the cryptocurrency industry. He urged the community to move beyond past rivalries and work together to overcome challenges. Hoskinson believes that the industry's limited window to gain adoption in 2025 requires collaboration. Well, when you're up against the United States government, you better have as many allies as you can, because you get these unelected bureaucrats in the machinery, and they can just crush you. His message comes amid the fallout from Operation Chokepoint 2.0, a global initiative targeting crypto businesses with aggressive debanking measures. Just imagine what it's like to be debanked. I mean, some of you listening to this podcast may have already been debanked. I don't know. Thankfully, I haven't. But it just has to be a life-altering experience. You can't send money anywhere. You can't get your paycheck cashed. You can't put your money in a safe place, quote-unquote. What an awful thing. Hoskinson advocates for crypto collaboration against Operation Chokepoint 2.0. In a November 30th post on X, formerly Twitter, Hoskinson publicly addressed his past criticism of ecosystems like Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana, acknowledging the need for reconciliation. He encouraged the Cardano community to move beyond past disputes and hostility, emphasizing the importance of resettling relationships across the crypto space. One suggestion that I have for all of us in the Cardano community is to let the comments and opinions of the past go and embrace a full reset of all ecosystems, Hoskinson stated. Hoskinson noted that while influencers from rival ecosystems have often dismissed Cardano, many are now reevaluating its potential. This shift, he said, creates an opening for meaningful dialogue and collective action. So he called on the community to abandon tribalism, which he described as a key obstacle to mainstream adoption and the industry's long-term growth. Every blockchain, I think, has its good and bad points. All right, some a lot more good, some a lot more bad. The point is, he's correct. If you're talking about getting regulations in place to protect the cryptocurrency system, then you all need to come together so you don't have one crypto like the maximalist and Bitcoin trying to write legislation and laws that co-opt everything and keep everybody else from contributing. Different projects do different things. And from what I can see, it's Bitcoin and Cardano. That's my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Other people love Solana. Other people love XRP. I mean, there's a lot of different projects out there. If I was going to my mind, that probably the best strategy is to invest in a bunch of different stuff, but you got to do your own research. It goes on down and says, looking ahead to 2025, Hoskinson outlined a vision of unity and progress. He believes the industry has a limited window to transform crypto into a Main Street financial asset and boost its market valuation. This goal, he argued, demands a united front to overcome internal division and seize emerging opportunities. It goes on and says 2025 is about unity and progress. We have a window to make crypto mainstream and grow our markets to the tens of trillions of dollars of value, thereby entering every home and government alike. We cannot allow petty tribalism to squander this opportunity, Hoskinson said. But just think about all the trillions of dollars that are out there in assets. If you start tokenizing that stuff, think of the value that something like a Cardano blockchain can bring to society, with being able to store your medical records where you can access them conveniently and where they're completely secure at. If you can put those kind of products out there, so and that's not even talking about the immutable contracts. So lots of stuff being offered here. Or you got XRP, I suppose, that's supposed to be able to send all these transactions so quickly. Or you got Bitcoin being used as a store of value. So you have a family of just cryptocurrencies out there, but I'm talking about the top 100 or so that have really proven that they have utility. Think about what they could do for making a better life for all of us, and why it's so important that we get laws on the books, that they can't just be snuffed out by a bureaucrat somewhere. We've got 4 years, maybe. Now, I don't know about J.D. Vance. He seems like he's kind of pro-crypto, but there's no guarantee how these elections turn out. Things can change on a dime. We've seen that. It says, meanwhile, Hoskinson's call for unity comes amid the industry struggles with Operation Chokepoint 2.0. Even though Obama's out of there, you still have this nasty attitude toward cryptocurrencies by a lot of these folks that are in power still in place. I mean, it's insidious. It's like a cancer. I don't know. We need some kind of a major operation here to remove this disease from our government and from our economy. The operation, which uses tactics like audits, fines, and bank deplatforming, has forced financial institutions to sever ties with crypto firms out of fear of regulatory consequences. So, hey, we can't deal with you guys because if we do, we're going to be tied up in court for the next 25 years with the IRS. This is not the way you have good government. This is absolutely terrible. The Cardano founder emphasized that the operation's impact has been global, causing both economic and emotional harm to crypto businesses worldwide. Put that in a backdrop of where we're told that we have 325,000 missing children in this country, but they're worried about cryptocurrency. Just think about that for 1 minute and ask you, do you think that these folks have their priorities in the right place? The global fallout from Operation Chokepoint 2.0, so many people put their head in the sand for political reasons, saying that it's not as bad as the industry was making it out to be. It is worse and global. So many businesses were harassed, fined, and audited and deplatformed, he stated. Indeed, Hoskinson's statements highlight the urgency of building solidarity within the crypto ecosystem by focusing on shared goals and overcoming internal divisions. He believes the industry can navigate external challenges and drive broader adoption across the globe. Somebody's got to hit the easy button here, folks, to make this stuff really work. We're at the very beginning stages of where people are beginning to recognize the value of these cryptos. I'm all on board with Cardano. Other people support other projects. But whatever your project is, you need to be protected from bureaucrats that hate the idea of cryptocurrency. And believe me, they've been running hard and fast lately. Here's an article from November 27, 2024 by Vismaya V. It's from decrypt.co. Operation Chokepoint 2.0. Crypto founders silenced by secret debanking. Operation Chokepoint originates from an Obama-era program that cut off financial services to industries deemed controversial or high risk. Is that really the government's job, to go out there without any kind of legal foundation and debank people because they don't like them? They're talking about debanking people that sell guns. What about Operation Fast and Furious, where the government was intentionally letting guns into the hands of cartel members in Mexico and people were killed? So, I mean, this is the pot calling the kettle black. They're telling you that they're doing it for your own good. Really? What happens when over 30 tech founders lose access to banking services without warning? According to Mark Andreessen, this is no accident. It's a government conspiracy. Andreessen, a co-founder of venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, claims the Biden administration is using financial exclusion as a weapon in what he terms Operation Chokepoint 2.0. Speaking on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast on Tuesday, Andreessen revealed over 30 founders had been debanked in the last 4 years, calling the practice a direct attack on legal businesses. The term Operation Chokepoint originates from an Obama-era program that cut off financial services to industries deemed controversial or high risk, such as marijuana dispensaries and gun shops. Okay, if these things are considered high risk or controversial, then just make them illegal. This is the government reaching above and beyond what it really has power to do. Andreessen accused the Biden administration of reviving and expanding the strategy to target political opponents and disfavor tech startups, particularly in the crypto industry. Operation Chokepoint 1.0 was 15 years ago against the pot and the guns, he explained. Chokepoint 2.0 is primarily against her political enemies and disfavored tech startups. Would that be the tech startups that aren't allowing the government to listen to every single phone call, text message, post on social media? I don't know. Crypto startups, according to Andreessen, now face similar exclusionary practices, being denied banking services, payment processors, and even insurance, crippling their ability to operate. Tesla CEO and ex-founder Elon Musk amplified the issue, quote, tweeting a clip from the podcast, "Did you know that 30 tech founders were secretly debanked?" Well, you start a tech company, you need money. And if they debank you, you might not be able to get that money. So that makes it pretty hard to start your company, doesn't it? We can't have a strong U.S. dollar if they're using it to punish people they don't like. You have to have a currency that's fungible, that's anonymous, that you can use, and may be used for things that you're not happy about. But if you're not happy about them, then you make a law against it, and then you go through it on a legal basis, not just randomly deciding this person gets to use a bank and this person doesn't get to use a bank. This won't work. The tweet triggered widespread rebuke, with Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong touting it as one of the most unethical and un-American things that happened in the Biden administration, he wrote on X on Wednesday. My guess is we'll find Elizabeth Warren's fingerprints all over it. Oh, you mean the Cherokee lady? The Democratic Party should realize Warren is a liability and further distance themselves if they want to have any hope of rebuilding, Armstrong said. So you have a person who claimed to be part American Indian, Cherokee actually, and what, didn't she get a subsidized education at Harvard? And she got to cut to the line because she said, oh, I have high cheekbones. To me, this is an unethical thing. It's very easy to determine if you're American Indian or not. They keep track of that stuff. I have family members, you may have family members that are distantly related to American Indian. Not hard. In the situation I'm thinking of, a cousin of mine, her grandmother was on the rolls on a reservation in Oklahoma. So it says her name right there. It tells she is full-blooded Cherokee Indian. Her kid was half-blooded. So it's easy to determine the level of American Indian DNA you have because we've been keeping tracks of folks on those reservations for a long time. Spatial status. If she couldn't do that, she could have went to 23andMe, I suppose, which I think did eventually happen, proving that she had no American Indian heritage whatsoever. No Native American, none, zero. But she wants to make sure that if you're developing a cryptocurrency company, you can't get banking services. Debanking refers to the process of a bank or financial institution revoking or restricting services to a customer, often closing their accounts without providing clear reasons. That doesn't sound like a place I want to live. There's no due process. None of this is written down. There's no rules, Andreessen alleged. There's no court. There's no decision process. There's no appeal. Who do you appeal to? Who do you go to get your bank account back? Custodia Bank CEO Caitlin Long shared her company's experience of being debanked on Wednesday. Yes, debanked repeatedly in my company's case, she tweeted. Keep an eye on our pending lawsuit against the Fed. Oral argument is scheduled for January 21st. The issue of debanking itself isn't confined to the U.S. In September 2023, the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, reviewed claims of politically motivated debanking. Austria, too, has been accused of shuttering banking services linked to crypto firms, which allegedly began during COVID-19. That was a cover for so many things, folks, I have to tell you. While the FCA reported no evidence of accounts being closed primarily due to political views, the findings sparked major skepticism. Well, of course, they're not going to report on themselves. I mean, come on. So there you have. It's something that's definitely going on. Take a look at this here article from Cointelegraph.com. It says crypto founders shared debanking stories during Operation Choke Point 2.0. This article is November 28th, 2024. Boy, it seems like Charles Hoskinson comes out and talks about this stuff, and the story is just blowing up, where people are saying, hey, this has been going on for 4 years. You see, people have been afraid of this Biden administration where they can't talk about it, but now that they know he's on the way out the door, I think some folks are beginning to understand, hey, this is our chance. We have to escape this misery. This is written by Zoltan Varday. Crypto founders shared debanking stories during Operation Choke Point 2.0. Frax Finance was allegedly among the crypto companies targeted by the debanking efforts, according to the platform's founder. More than 30 technology and cryptocurrency founders in the United States have been reportedly denied access to banking services in what some insiders describe as an orchestrated effort dubbed Operation Choke Point 2.0. Did you know that 30 tech founders were secretly debanked, asked Tesla founder and billionaire Elon Musk in a November 27th post? Elon Musk, love him or hate him, man, but he's done so much for getting the truth out there. I'm really impressed with what he's done with Twitter X now. In the post, Musk shared a clip of Andreessen Horowitz co-founder Mark Andreessen discussing the issue on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. In the clip, Andreessen claims Operation Choke Point 2.0 is primarily against their political enemies and disfavored tech startups. In the tech world, we had over 30 tech founders debanked in the last 4 years. It's been a big reoccurring problem. Oh, wow. And then it goes on here. It has a little image here of Andreessen talking to Joe Rogan. Very cool stuff. Coinbase co-founder and CEO Brian Armstrong added his voice to the allegations, calling out the unethical and un-American things that happened in the Biden administration in a November 27th X post. Honestly, it is unethical. It says here, this is Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase. Coinbase, you got Kraken, you got a few others. It says, can confirm this is true. It was one of the most unethical and un-American things that happened in the Biden administration. And my guess is we'll find Elizabeth Warren's fingerprints all over it. Biden himself was probably unaware. I'm not sure if I'd give him that much credit, but maybe. We're still collecting documents in a FOIA request, so hopefully the full story emerges of who was involved and whether they broke any laws. Well, they definitely broke the spirit of the law, I believe. Warren and Gensler tried to unlawfully kill our entire industry, and it was a major factor in the Dems losing the election. The Democratic Party should realize Warren is a liability and further distance themselves if they want to have any hope of rebuilding. Well, these people, they've got their money. We hear all the time about these senators and Congress people who have acquired millions and millions of dollars through stock trades. But it seems like it just kills them to think that somebody could be out there, some person of modest means, maybe a hardworking guy who's working in a factory somewhere, and through doing without, through a lot of sacrifice, is able to put away a few $100s, and he happens to hit it lucky on a big crypto, because there's so many of these I think that are going to go to the moon. I really do. And he happens to hit it lucky, and he takes a couple $100 and turns it into a couple thousand, or maybe a lot more. And the idea that somebody could do that, it just kills them. That somebody who's not accredited investor, someone in their club, could have a chance to risk some money at something besides a worthless casino somewhere, could have a chance to take that money and turn it into something. I think it just hurts them to their core to see the little guy get ahead. That's what I believe. Armstrong claimed Coinbase is collecting Freedom of Information Act requests to identify those involved in the debanking effort. The collapse of crypto-friendly banks earlier in 2023 sparked the first allegations of Operation Chokepoint 2.0. Critics, including venture capitalist Nick Carter, described it as a government effort to pressure banks into cutting ties with cryptocurrency firms. I don't know what else you would call it. Wow. And then it says Frax Finance founder recalls JP Morgan account. While an alleged operation has not been confirmed, crypto industry players have detailed challenges in securing banking services. This is by Sam Kazemian, Kazemian. Sam Kazemian, founder of Frax Finance, recounted a conversation with JP Morgan Chase in December of 2022. They said, "We have to close anyone's account that we know their primary source of income and wealth is crypto," Kazemian wrote in a November 28th post on X, attributing the directive to a JP Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon. Kept quiet about this. This is his post here. Kept quiet about this for almost a year out of fear, but since I'm in good company with Tyler, Cameron, Brian Armstrong, Elon Musk, now last December I got a call from JPM saying we have to close anyone's account that we know their primary source of income or wealth is crypto. This is directly from the top, from Jamie. I'm really sorry. I had a close relationship with my banker, so I assume 99% of the people wouldn't even get that kind of transparency/explanation. Wanted to add my own name to the debanked OCP list. It's real. It happened. Hopefully now it will soon be over. This is terrible. I mean, it's affecting not just the poor folks, but it's affecting the rich folks too. Maybe that's why it's getting some attention finally. It says in March 2023, the U.S. banking system took a hit following the sudden collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and the voluntary liquidation of Silvergate Bank. Signature Bank was also forced to close operations by New York regulators on March 12th, 2 days after Silvergate Bank's liquidation. The sudden collapse of three crypto-friendly U.S. banks was called Operation Chokepoint 2.0 by crypto venture capitalist Nick Carter, who saw it as a coordinated effort to unbank the crypto industry. Well, I looked into that a little bit. I believe those banks did have some issues. I think there was a lot of wokeness going on there that could have caused them to have made some investments that might not have been the best. That's just my opinion. I have nothing to go on that, but just what I've read. What I read could be incorrect. But I could also see Kazemian's view of this saying, hey, look, there's lots of banks that are worse off. They just closed these guys because they were focused on crypto. So you have to ask yourself, is that what's going on here? Is the banking sector in such bad shape that they could just go into pretty much any bank they wanted to and say, oh, well, you have some customers who have a Coinbase account, so we can close down their accounts. That's going to put millions of people without banking services. So that's what they do. So you have to draw the line somewhere. And we need a lot more transparency than what we've been getting. So far, this whole choke point thing is nothing, there's nothing transparent about it. Goes on, it says, tech industry debanking is why Andreessen supported Trump. The ongoing tech and crypto industry debanking is why Andreessen decided to support Donald Trump in the U.S. presidential election on November 5th. During the 3-hour podcast episode with Joe Rogan, Andreessen stated, this is why we ended up supporting Trump. We can't live in a world where somebody starts a company that's completely illegal and then gets sanctioned and embargoed by the U.S. government through a completely unaccountable, no due process. Trump's victory is seen as a net positive for crypto regulations and the risk asset leading into 2028. Demand for leveraged ETH, it says exchange-traded funds, rose over 160% since Trump's victory, signaling a potential ETH rally to above $4,000. They got to push ETH a little bit there. Myself, I've also seen Cardano. Well, the price on Cardano has tripled in the last couple of months. If you bought Cardano a few months ago at 33, 34, 36 cents, you're pretty happy right now. And who knows what the future holds as this stuff becomes more and more usable, as people find the easy button more and more. We're going to see that these operations like Choke Point and Choke Point 2.0 don't have any place in a free society. And my thanks to Charles Hoskinson for speaking out against this stuff. It's un-American, it's unpatriotic, and as far as I'm concerned, it should be totally illegal. Until next time, this is Cardano News Now.